Welcome to another Foolish Thoughts episode. This is Joseph Barone, aka A Fool for Learning, and our foolish thought for today is reselling, using photos. Although I've been selling now for about 7 years or so, which is not long compared to many others, one of the things that I think is really, really important is the quality of the photos you use. And I take my photos, and it's only been once or twice over the years that I've used what we call a stock image. And a stock image is an image produced by a manufacturer of the product. Now, why do I not use stock images? Very, very simple. I want my buyers to know exactly what they are getting. And that includes any sort of blemishes, imperfections, maybe something I really, really want to highlight. I want no buyer to ever come back to me and say, you didn't tell me there was this scratch. You did not tell me there was a problem with this item. Therefore, I want a refund. I don't want any of that. So in order to do that, I take photos of every side of an item. I take photos of scratches, of the company name, of the label. I take photos of something that I want to highlight. Or if there's something broken or damaged, I take a photo of that too. In fact, I take more photos than probably what I need. And I attempt to take good quality photos. And you don't need a fancy digital camera to take good quality photos. In fact, if you have one of the latest iPhones, you can take some very, very good pictures with it. Now, I also take my photos on a 1-inch grid map to alert the buyer to the size of the item. It's one less thing that I need to write into the description. However, there are some instances in which I do something else to show the buyer of what the size of the item is. And it's usually when I'm selling clothing. I add a measuring tape to the item to show how long or wide something is. This allows me, for example, to show the sleeve length or the collar, whatever the case might be. And the reason I do that is because in the past, whenever I've sold clothing, I always got a message from an interested buyer saying, oh, how long is the sleeve? How long is this? How wide is that? Which meant that I had to find the item, take it out, set up my photo area again, take photos, measure it, send it back to the buyer, the interested buyer, and then also include those new photos and that added description into the item I was selling, into the posting. Therefore, what I now do with all clothing is I include a measuring tape showing the length of the sleeve, etc. And this cuts down and saves me time in the long run. And by the way, there's a new feature, if you haven't seen this on eBay, in which you can add a video. And I haven't tried that yet, but I will hopefully try that soon. So when reselling, my advice is to take more photos than what you think are needed and make certain that they are of good quality and include measurements. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to listen to me. And if you learned something, and I hope you did, please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, and even share with a friend. This is Joseph Barone, aka A Fool for Learning, signing out. Remember, learn, perform, succeed.